The headline you have been waiting for is finally here, and it is more explosive, more definitive, and more devastating for the MAGA movement than anyone dared to imagine. Trump faces jail. Do not look away, do not change the channel, and do not doubt the reality of this moment because the walls are not just closing in, they've already met in the middle. The most significant development in this entire legal saga has just been confirmed. Ivanka Trump is being forced to testify under oath. This is the moment that the house of cards finally collapses, and I am here to tell you exactly how this daughter's testimony is going to be the very thing that locks the cell door on her father once and for all. This is the absolute end of the road for the most corrupt political dynasty in the history of the United States. You need to understand the magnitude of what is happening right now. For years, Donald Trump has treated the legal system of this country like a game of chess that he could win by cheating. He has bullied witnesses, he has intimidated judges, and he has lied to the American people with every single breath. But he has finally run out of moves because the one person he thought he could always count on, the golden child of the Trump empire, is now legally obligated to tell the truth. Ivanka Trump is facing a choice that she never thought she would have to make. She can either protect her father and face the consequences of perjury, or she can save herself and tell the world where the bodies are buried. We know she will choose herself because that is the culture of greed they built. This is not just a family meeting. This is a state-mandated demolition of the Trump legacy. Let us get straight to the point because I do not want to waste a single second of your time. Donald Trump is facing the very real and immediate prospect of a prison sentence that will ensure he never sets foot in the White House again. This is not a drill. This is not political theater. This is the weight of the United States government and the rule of law crushing a man who thought he was a king. We have moved past the stage of investigations and inquiries. We are now in the stage of consequences. The evidence is so overwhelming, the witnesses are so high profile, and the legal strategy we have deployed is so airtight that there is absolutely no escape. He is trapped, he is desperate, and he is terrified. And he should be terrified. Why is Ivanka the key to this entire collapse? Because she was in the room for everything. She was the executive vice president of the Trump Organization. She was a senior advisor in the White House. She was the one who signed the documents. She was the one who attended the secret meetings, and she was the one who managed the brand that was built on a foundation of lies and fraudulent valuations. For years, she has tried to distance herself, pretending to be the moderate voice of reason, while she profited from the chaos her father created. But the Department of Justice is not interested in her carefully curated public image. They have the records, they have the emails, and now they have her under a subpoena that cannot be ignored. When she sits in that witness chair and raises her hand to tell the truth, the entire mythology of the Trump billionaire status will evaporate in an instant. I want you to imagine the scene because it is a scene that will be written about in the history books for the next 100 years. The daughter forced by the sheer force of the law to reveal the criminal enterprise of the father. This is the ultimate betrayal for a man who demands absolute loyalty but offers none in return. Donald Trump has spent his entire life using people as shields, including his own children. But that shield has just shattered. Ivanka Trump knows that the algo seizure protocol we discussed has already mapped out every fraudulent transaction she ever touched. She knows that the Gotham system has already linked her digital footprint to the crimes of the Trump Organization. She is not just testifying against a politician, she is testifying against the man who made her an accomplice in a decade of financial crimes. The reason this is a just-in moment of such gravity is that the prosecutors have finally secured the testimony that connects the intent to the action. We already have the documents that show Donald Trump lied about his assets. We already have the recordings that show he tried to subvert the will of the voters. But what we needed was the internal confirmation of the conspiracy, and Ivanka Trump is the person who will provide it. She cannot hide behind executive privilege. She cannot hide behind the Fifth Amendment without admitting that her father is a criminal. She is boxed in, and as she goes down, she is taking the entire MAGA infrastructure with her. This is the nightmare scenario for the Republican Party, and it is a dream come true for the soul of this nation. Let us be very clear about what is at stake here. This is not just about one man going to jail. This is about the total and complete rejection of the MAGA ideology that has poisoned our discourse for far too long. When Donald Trump is convicted, and he will be convicted, it will be a signal to every single extremist, every single insurrectionist, and every single corrupt politician that their time is up. We are using the full power of the federal government to ensure that justice is served. We are not playing by the old rules where the wealthy can buy their way out of trouble. In 2026, the law is an algorithm of accountability that does not have a very important person section. If you commit the crime, you will do the time, regardless of whether your name is on a tower or a jail cell. The Republican Party is currently in a state of absolute panic because they know that once Donald Trump is behind bars, their entire platform of grievances and lies will vanish. They have tethered their entire identity to a man who is about to be a federal inmate. They are watching as the golden child prepares to deliver the killing blow to his political career. The desperation in the GOP ranks is palpable. They are screaming about witch hunts because they are terrified of the truth. They are terrified of the fact that we have finally built a system that is immune to their gaslighting. They can scream all they want, but they cannot stop a subpoena, and they cannot stop the truth from coming out of Ivanka's mouth. Stay with me, because the details of this jail sentence are even more significant than the headlines suggest. We are not just talking about a slap on the wrist or a house arrest situation. The charges involved ranging from racketeering to the subversion of national security carry mandatory minimums that would see Donald Trump spending the rest of his natural life behind bars. This is the reality that the MAGA base is trying to ignore, but they cannot ignore it for much longer. The United States Marshals are ready, the Bureau of Prisons is ready, the American people are ready to move on from this long national nightmare. And the final step in that process is the testimony of the daughter who witnessed the crimes from the inside. I want to talk directly to those who still think Donald Trump is untouchable. You have been lied to. You have been told that he is a master strategist who is always 10 steps ahead. But look at him now. He is a man who is being betrayed by his own family because the law has finally made it too expensive for them to stay loyal. He is a man who is watching his assets be seized by the very protocol he claimed did not exist. He is a man who is facing the prospect of a cold gray cell while the world moves on without him. He is not a king, he is a defendant. He is not a leader, he is a liability, and very soon he will be a prisoner. This is why retention of this information is so vital. You must understand that the opposition will try to spin this. They will try to say that Ivanka is being persecuted. They will try to say that this is a dark day for democracy. Do not believe them for a single second. This is the brightest day for democracy in a generation. This is the day that we prove that the law actually means something. This is the day that we show that no amount of money and no amount of fame can protect you from the consequences of attacking the United States of America. When Ivanka Trump takes that stand, she is not just testifying against her father, she is testifying for the Constitution. The exaggerated wealth, the exaggerated power, and the exaggerated ego of Donald Trump are all coming to a violent end. We have seen the evidence that Ivanka was involved in the inflated valuations of properties like Seven Springs and the DC Hotel. We have seen the evidence that she was a primary contact for foreign entities that sought to influence the Trump administration. The depth of the corruption is truly staggering, and the fact that it was a family affair makes it all the more reprehensible. They used the highest office in the land as a personal piggy bank, and they thought they would never have to pay it back. They were wrong. The bill has come due, and the interest is a prison sentence. I want you to feel the urgency of this moment. We are at the tipping point. The algo seizure protocol is working in tandem with the judicial system to ensure that there is nowhere left to hide. Every time Donald Trump posts a frantic message on his failing social media platform, he is just providing more evidence of his mental collapse and his legal desperation. He knows that Ivanka is the weak link. He knows that she does not have the stomach to go to jail for him. He knows that the Daddy's Girl Act is over and the State's Witness Act is about to begin. This is the ultimate Shakespearean tragedy, but it is happening in real time in our country for the sake of our future. The American people deserve a government that is not a reality show. We deserve a government that is not a criminal enterprise. And by forcing Ivanka Trump to testify, we are taking the final step toward restoring the dignity of our institutions. This is the work of a functional, aggressive, and unapologetic Department of Justice. We are not asking for permission to hold him accountable. We are taking it. We are not waiting for him to admit his guilt. We are proving it through the testimony of his own flesh and blood. This is the power of the Democratic vision for justice. It is relentless, it is thorough, and it is final. Think about what this means for the future of the Republican Party. They have spent years defending the indefensible. They have spent years bowing down to a man who is now being exposed as a fraud by his own daughter. How do they recover from this? They do not. The MAGA movement is a scorched earth policy that has finally reached its own border. When Trump goes to jail, the movement goes with him. The politicians who enabled him, the donors who funded him, and the media figures who lied for him will all be left standing in the ruins of a collapsed empire. They chose the wrong side of history, and they are about to pay the price. This Justin report is a warning to every single person who thinks they can subvert our laws and get away with it. The eye of the government is focused, the technology is ready, and the witnesses are talking. Ivanka Trump is not a victim. She is a participant who has finally been caught. Donald Trump is not a hero. He is a criminal who has finally run out of luck. The jail cell is waiting, the orange jumpsuit is ready, and the gavel is about to fall. This is the accountability that we promised, and this is the accountability that we are delivering. I want to conclude by emphasizing the title of this report once more: Trump faces jail as Ivanka is forced to testify under oath. This is the headline that defines 2026. This is the headline that defines the end of the Trump era. Do not let the noise of the opposition distract you from the signal of justice. The protocol is in place, the evidence is gathered, and the most important witness in the history of the world is about to speak the words that will end the Trump dynasty forever. We are moving forward into a new era of transparency and lawfulness. We are moving forward into a world where no one is above the law and no one is below the reach of justice. The seizure of Mar-a-Lago was the beginning, the testimony of Ivanka is the middle, and the imprisonment of Donald Trump will be the end. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay ready for the world that comes after the fall of the House of Trump. It is a world that is brighter, cleaner, and more just for every single American. The truth is coming, and it is coming from the one person Donald Trump never thought would dare to speak it. The countdown to his incarceration has officially begun. Justice is not just coming, it is here.